Hey friends, it's Rebecka Forrester. Just wanted to give you some information today about protecting your estate. As a financial planner and a realtor, I help a lot of people with probate. And if you don't know what that is, it means that someone passed away and they didn't have a trust. They passed away and the court, thankfully, oh yay, I'm being sarcastic, the court gets to decide what happens with your estate. Now, everybody has an estate. You either have bank accounts, stocks, you have, even if you have kids, the court will decide what happens. So you must have a living trust. So if you're a parent or if you own property or if you have assets that are not already beneficiary designated, meaning like an IRA that tells someone that they're the beneficiary, then you need a trust. Everybody needs a trust. I've had one for 20 plus years because I have a almost 20-year-old, and I've owned property for longer than that. So if your parents own property, this is really important as well because they're probably going to pass before you. And if they do not have a trust, then you will have to go through probate with your brothers and sisters. And that process could be 2 years, it could be longer, and it can cost $45,000 plus in fees just for attorneys plus administrator fees. It could cost $90,000. You can spend conversely between $400 and $3,500 in establishing a trust. You can have somebody do it for you, paperwork wise. You can have an attorney do it for you. If you need referrals, I'm happy to help. I can send you multiple people that could do that for you. And it's a fraction of what you would be spending, and you don't have to relinquish control of your finances or your family. So it's super important to be informed and to take action on that information. So if you have a trust, make sure your property is registered in the name of your trust. You should check this every couple years. Every time you refinance your property, the bank requires that you take your house out of your trust. And then because your trust doesn't have credit, you do. So you need to put your house back in your trust after you refinance. And your parents, the same. Perhaps they did an equity line of credit or something like that, or they did a mortgage and you didn't know about it, and then they pass away or one of them passes away, and then it goes through probate. You don't want that to happen because, again, here's a distinction. If your parents have a $1.5 million home and a $500,000 stock and mutual fund account, that's a $2 million estate. Even if they have $1 million mortgage. Now you'd say, well, wait a minute, that's $1.5 million plus 500, that's $2 million minus $1 million in loans. That's not how the court looks at it. The court looks at it as a gross estate, not a net estate. So the fees are set by the state of California for what attorneys are allowed to charge. Attorneys don't set the fees. And it's about $45,000 for the attorney's fees on a $2 million gross estate, plus administrator's fees, which are about the same. So $90,000 is what would be spent essentially on a $2 million estate, regardless of liabilities or debt on the properties or the assets themselves. If your parents have a reverse mortgage, there's also a shortened window of time when you must sell that property, and the bank is not lenient. So you might lose that property. If the court does not give you permission to sell the house in a reasonable amount of time, then the reverse mortgage company could threaten to take that property from you and call the loan due. That's scary. I've actually experienced that with a family member who didn't have a trust and they had a reverse mortgage, and it was so close, the time frame where the bank was going to call the note due, and thankfully the probate court permitted the sale of the property the same month that the property needed to be sold by the bank. So it's just not worth it. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth the time involved. It's not worth the fees. Get a trust and make sure your assets are recorded in the name of the trust. And make sure you have a copy of your parents' trust. Everybody should have a copy. The attorney doesn't necessarily keep a copy. The assessor's office does not have a copy because it's a personal, private document. You need a copy. Keep it in a safe place and give someone that you're close to a copy of your trust as well. Do not trust that your attorney will keep it. I've had a trust for a long time. I first had an attorney draft it for me. I called him 10 years later to make a change and he didn't have it. So you must keep a copy of your own trust. And I hope this information is valuable to you. If you would like me to help you pull the title report on your house, I will do that for free. I've helped clients with this for many, many years. And I can get you in touch with a multitude of resources on people who charge anywhere between $400 and $3,500 to set up a trust. Even if I'm not your realtor, that's okay. I want to be a resource and bless you. Have a great day.